All right, and we are live. Welcome back to the live Drive Jive archive with your host, Frank Monday, coming at you Monday through Friday on the morning grind. Twilight Zone Old Peking in the central kingdom of the celestial dragon. It is a beautiful spring day, y'all. Wow, I got a chin strap hanging out up here. Better get rid of that motherfucker. Uh, What's going on out there in Happy Land? Y'all good looking sexy people doing all right? I was mentioning a couple of things on the last video. Uh, Channel blurb for Dr. Justin Sledge over at Esoterica, Religion, Esoterica, Hermeticism, History, and Religion. All good stuff. Make sure you check him out. I mentioned that everyone should check out Dick Dolan's latest video on the digital dictatorship. Good stuff. He really has been coming forward once a month with a good video delineating the State of the Union. The one thing I'm going to make a critique of Dolan. The one thing that kind of gripes my ass about him a little bit is that he's a big time fence sitter when it comes to source and divinity. So, for some reason, in his mind, we came from monkeys. And with that as the foundation of your understanding, I think there's something inherently wrong with you. Um, at least something wrong with your ideology, because that means you're just buying in 100% to the corporate funded Kool-Aid, right? To these guys who claim that they're hardcore scientists and they've got it all figured out. You know, there are fucking dinosaurs running around and a comet struck, and you're just buying the whole grand narrative, hook, line, and sinker. And so um, that baffles me. I'm not sure why people feel that way. Um, Hey, Monsieur Tedrick's back. Good to see you, Monsieur Tedrick. Yeah, I don't know what's up with YouTube, man. Maybe as a viewer of my channel, you could write an official email to Susan. You probably got more sway than I do. You good looking, fucking looking like Charlemagne. You know, she might appreciate you. She doesn't listen to me. I've not tried to contact Susan directly. That's the CEO of YouTube. But I wish I could get a channel manager, but they don't pay any attention to you unless you get, 100,000 subs, a million subs, something like that. So unless people are subbing the channel, it doesn't go anywhere, which I'm fine with. I mean, I'm just here to communicate with a few select individuals. You know, y'all good looking sexy people out in Happy Land. So it doesn't bother me. The sub base has never been the drive of this channel. Monetization has never been the drive of this channel. It's just been um, wanting to have fun, doing the ghetto gardens thing. And I thought, if I could put some of my camera work skills and personality skills and my hobbies into an interesting format in the past, of course, when I really sunk time and energy into production value of my videos. Um, I thought that it would be fun if it became like, like a part-time job or something. And I work it like a part-time job, man. I'm no schlep when it comes to doing videos. We're pushing 1,000 videos now. We're about to reach the 1,000 mark. And so I've got more videos than subs. It would have been fun. Like if you get at least one sub per video, that would be really cool because then I would be nearing 1,000 subs, which used to be the watermark for getting noticed, but they've moved it. It used to be 1,000 subs, now it's 10,000 subs. So at my rate of making videos, we're looking at like 500 a year or something like that. I would probably be able to reach 10,000 videos in I don't know, 5 or 6 years. And I've already been at it for 6 years. I think 6 or 7. No, 2015 is when I started, I believe. But I only made 2 or 3 videos first couple of years. I wasn't that interested in it really. It didn't become a thing until I started live streaming. Then, like a daily live stream, I felt like it was a lot of fun. So yeah. Anyway, Um, yeah, so more about the trip home. I really want to get home, man. They were supposed to lift all the stupid flight bans at the end of March, and now here we are in the second day of April. And so my wife's been checking plane tickets, like I said, and they're anyway from like $6,000, $8,000. If the last time I flew home, it cost me my round trip ticket cost me $3,000. So if it's tripled in price, if I'm looking at like 8 or 10 grand just for the flight ticket, I don't know, man. That might prevent me from actually doing it, which is really heartbreaking. I mean, I'm just a working class man. I can't afford that because I spend anywhere from 10 to 20,000 just going home one time, you know? That's why I only do it 2 or 3 times a year. Because once you get home, you got to rent a car, you got to have hotels, you got to feed everyone day in and day out in restaurants and stuff. Sometimes you could stay with family too, but you got to consider that you're gonna be out 15, 20, maybe even 30,000. And so I got to save for that. It takes me 2 or 3 years to save up for that. And the problem this year is we had to buy a new car. So we replaced the minivan and we bought a new car. Plus, we're renting a car. Plus, my daughter's got to get into high school, and I'm going to have to spend like 10,000 just to get her into high school. Anyway, I won't burden y'all with my problems. You guys know how life works. You know that's why I work a full-time job. Uh, and I was kind of hoping the YouTube racket would, maybe amount to something at some time, but no, that's not the way it works. Unless you out there shaking your titties, you're not gonna get any. You're not gonna get any subs. You're not gonna get anything. We have arrived at the yard, y'all, and looks like we're about 5 minutes early, maybe. So maybe once I roll in there, I could check the chat and see how y'all good-looking, sexy people are doing. Beautiful spring weather, man. It's good stuff out here today. I've been taking a lot of walks in the park. I don't know, maybe I showed you guys the park the other day. So you know where I'm walking around during my lunch break and stuff. And any other time I can sneak off campus. But it's not as frequent as I would like. I like to teach my classes. I like to spend time in the office. I like to commiserate with the other ETs because most of us are ETs, English teachers. There's not a whole lot of foreigners at our school, though, as far as the teaching population goes. But that's to be expected. Any given academy. There's one academy in this little neighborhood where all the elites go, where all the big business people send their kids, and embassy folks send their kids, and it's the more prestigious. It pays a higher salary, but at the same time, they run it like a prison camp too, and they're pretty hard on their teachers. So people have been trying to lure me over there. They're like, Frank, why don't you come teach at our school? And I'm like, nah, that ain't never gonna happen. I like the way the local Chinese run their operation. How are you treated among the Chinese staff? Wonderfully, man. Honestly, educated folks in the Chinese culture, like the people even in the lower echelons, I got to tell you, the the only type of people that give you any shit are like folks on the street that have attitude. I mean, there's always bias and discrimination and a bit of racism. Sometimes it's reverse racism though. Like the Chinese, they appreciate fair skin. Fair skin has always been lauded in the Chinese culture for thousands of years as being among the elite because and I'll talk about fair skinned Asians, as well. But when they see a white folks, they prefer them to other folks because they liken it to purity and nobility and cultivation. Um, and the reason for that is the slave classes and the serfs and the peasants typically work the fields and are in agriculture. I'll tell you like about yesterday, an experience I had. I was out in the park and the workers came in and they were putting in trees. Yeah, they do treat me well, um, for the most part. I mean, obviously there are the situations I've told you about in the past where you can hear folks say, "Ah, foreign devil," and spit in your direction. But those are the urchins of the class society. Um, I'll tell you about a situation yesterday in the park. I was out going for a walk and I sat near a tree and I was chilling. And about 25, 30 laborers came through, all really short dudes. They had some girls working with them too, maybe two or three, but it was almost all men and they all had shovels in their hands, you know? And so if I hadn't been here for a long time, I might have felt nervous around them. I might have been like, hey, these guys could knock me out and bury me in the dirt here with the trees. But they're all smiling and they're very coy in their behaviors and stuff. But these are laborer guys, you know, local laborers, farmers. And so first one kind of breaks off from the group and starts talking to me. And he's like, "Good God, you know, your Chinese is perfect." You know, and he's like, "I wouldn't expect that I could have an open and free conversation with a foreigner." And so, yeah, you know, you go through the normal chit chat stuff. Where are you from? What you doing here? That kind of thing. And so I talked to three or four of them, and then like the Laoban comes over, and he's wearing like this, you know, the boss. He comes over and he's wearing like this silk vest, and he's got a big belly, and he's not doing anything. He's just watching, you know, occasionally yelling orders out. And so he dials in on me and he stands right next to me and he whips out a pack of cigarettes, you know, and he's like, "Here, have a cigarette," you know, foreigner. Because they call you Lao Wai. It's kind of derogatory, but it's not at the same time. I don't know if he actually said that or not, but some of them did. So that always grinds a little bit. But anyway, so I stood there with this guy and he's asking me about my hometown. I always say I'm German. I don't like to say that I'm American because that brings up some shit storms that I don't like to deal with. But if I say I'm German among the middle-aged and older crowd, they always immediately love me. For some reason, they love the Germans. And they had a really good relationship with Germany um, during the Cultural Revolution. So we're talking like the 1960s and 70s. A lot of German engineers came over here and taught them how to do things like build cars and do water plants and electrical plants and stuff like that. So I haven't done a lot of research into the German relationship with China, but yeah, ended up spending a good 20 plus minutes chatting with these laborers like we were all brothers, you know. And then at the end, like as they're all leaving, there was one guy kind of lingering around and he comes over and he starts telling me about uh the local battles between the he's an older guy too, so he might have known something about it, but fighting the Japanese and then the Cultural Revolution, and he starts wanting to talk about it. And yeah, it was kind of spooky because then at that point, it's like that's when he's dredging up all the old tales of death and disaster and famine. And you're not supposed to really talk about those things with the locals because they don't really ever want that story being retold and they don't want it getting out, you know. So I've had a few conversations, a few run-ins like that. All in all, though, typically good fun. The folks in the office are always really nice to me. I mean, it's pretty much all women. There's like one or two other men in there. Um, in an office, our particular office of like 20 people, there are four foreigners. I mean, that's one fourth. So they've got all the foreigners in that one office. And then there are like, you know, 15 other people, 15, 16 other people. And it's mostly youngish, you know, late 20s, early 30s type teachers. Yeah, good stuff, man. I appreciate y'all, good looking, sexy folks. I hope you are doing well out there in Happy Land. I'm gonna sign off for today. I got to go have my breakfast. Have a good day. Keep me in your prayers. Keep Owen in your prayers, and you know that I keep you guys in my prayers. As above, so below. as we wander on down the road. Good magic, everyone.